My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. I worked a decade at IRS. I have been in private practice for 42 years. Like I said, I'm a national expert. I've been on all the major news stations. As a matter of fact, I was on News Nation two weeks ago. Anyway, what I want to talk to you today about filing your back taxes, really, and what you need to know. I used to be one of those revenue officers at IRS that used to go ahead and knock and bang on doors and deliver summons and making people show up in my office. And most of the people, if you're listening to, you've looked at the banner that says, file your tax returns and stop worrying, let the fear and anxiety go away. I realized from working thousands of cases, thousands, that most of the people who don't file are self-employed, and they don't have good records. That's what, after all this, someone smart could have probably come up with that, but that's what experience has shown me. So I want you to know that there is nothing. If you've got to this point, fear and anxiety has come in because you don't have records. You don't know what to do. You don't know where to turn to. You want to get back in the system. You want to do this worry-free. You can get back in this system absolutely worry-free. We have never, and God, please, I tell you the truth, it may change tomorrow. I've never had a person who I filed 6 years that was ever audited by IRS. Well, we have a lot to do with that because we're filing competent tax returns. But if you do not have your records, it's okay. People like us and other people know how to reconstruct your tax returns. So if you've lost all your records, they blew away in a hurricane, believe me, you have no idea the stories. I had one guy actually tell me, listen to this. He drove a truck for a living, and he went from job to job to job, and I asked him so I could prepare his return. So he told me, as an agent, an IRS agent, while I was working there, he says, Mr. Sullivan, you're not going to believe this. As soon as they say you're not going to believe this, I know it's a lie. So he said that he had worn the truck out in the bed, and he had a lot of cement and it ground away. He says he had his tax record box right there. He was going to his tax preparer, listen to this, to go ahead and prepare his last 8 years tax returns. Well, you only had to file 6. So he said that when he hit a bump, those records went in that hole of that bed where the cement had worn it out, and he's seen them actually go on I-95, and they went all to the wind. And he tried to go back and pick them up, and he couldn't find all his records. He had few pieces of paper. Whatever your reason is, you only have to file the last 6. There's a policy statement, P5-133. Look it up. Nothing is going to happen to you. Just get the last 6 years filed. I know no one has their records for 6 years. Few do. So we can just reconstruct your tax returns, and then we can just work out a settlement when you owe the IRS bill. We'll explain the entire process. Do not let fear and anxiety, and especially the lack of records, keep you from filing your return. It's easy. It's very easy to reconstruct your tax return. So anyway, no matter who you use, you got to get this off your back, your chest, because you're nervous during tax time and you're waiting for someone to knock on that door one day. Well, at some point something's going to happen to you. IRS is going to send you a letter these days, but get your tax returns filed. I can easily get your returns filed so you don't have to worry. Thank you so much. Give me a subscription. Stop worrying.